Have to build on this momentum. If you can acquire Paul George, Jimmy Butler, or Gordon Hayward from Utah, you have to do it.
Yes.
You need these guys. You want to get over the top. Boston doesn't praise winning the Eastern Conference. They're going for a championship. Colin, do you agree with Paul Pierce?
100%. Now, Danny Ainge is considered smart guy, right? I mean, we think of him as pretty successful.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Last 22 players drafted, 0 All-Stars, a lot of whiffs, several guys out of the league. Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart are his hits. Okay, this is an inexact science. This is an inexact. Here's what's not inexact. Jimmy Butler can play. Gordon Hayward can play. By the way, all those guys, including Kawhi, took 5 years to get great. 4 years to pop. Markelle Fultz won 9 games. I looked up this morning who he beat in college. Western this, Southern that, Central that, directional schools. Looked like a road map. And Oregon State. Who'd he beat? I mean, if you're as good as him, Carmelo Anthony took a team in college in the in the Big East and carried them to a title.
Yes.
This guy won 9 games in the Pac-12.
Big time red flag.
Listen, I think most people blame that on the coach, but you've made a great point. And clearly, if you're Boston, you got Isaiah Thomas at age 28, you got Brad Stevens going into his 3rd, 4th year as a head coach. You're in a win-now mode, and you got to make a trade. You got to acquire a veteran player and a big-time player. They don't need a good number 2. They need a 1A, 1B situation with Isaiah Thomas. And so, yeah, Jimmy Butler, Gordon Hayward, Paul George. And again, I said this yesterday. I'm going to repeat it again. If I'm the NBA, I make damn sure it happens. I want some competition in the East. And if I have to manipulate things, say, hey, Paul George, I know you want to go home, but we'd rather have you in Boston, I'd do it. They sent Chris Paul to L.A., send Paul George,
Look, if they can get Paul George, by all means, trade the pick. Here's the problem. You can't get George to fully commit to staying in Boston long term. He's got 1 year left on his deal. You can't do a contract extension with him this summer. All you can get is a verbal from Paul saying, I'll stay.
You can't do a sign and trade?
No, because he's not a free agent.
Oh.
So that's the risk involved there. So I can't trade for Paul George unless I know 100% I got him for the long haul. Gordon Hayward don't need to trade for him.
Gordon
He's a
with the
free
good hair.
agent. Gordon with the good hair, right? You can get him as a free agent. So my plan A would be keep the pick, sign Gordon Hayward as a free agent, and then let Avery Bradley go in free agency and see what I can do with money. See if Markelle Fultz, I start him next to Isaiah Thomas and see what happens there. Or I would not rule out drafting Lonzo Ball because he is the better team player in my opinion.
Isaiah Thomas is a shoot first, attack first point guard. That's not what Lonzo Ball is.
But Ball's a team player.
Right.
So you could put Isaiah
But he
at
likes
the
the
2.
ball in
He's
his hand.
Yeah, Isaiah would be like essentially a 2 guard, like Kyrie Irving is with LeBron.
Gordon with the good hair, Hayward, in Boston. The people in Boston wouldn't be eating clam chowder anymore. They'd be eating him up, going nuts on him.
They love you.
They'd
right?
build a statue out there for him before he got there.
First team All-NBA, average age 27 and a half. This is a 19-year-old kid. This is a man's league in May and June.
Yes.
This is what wins in this league. By the way, LeBron's team is almost too old. I mean, let's be honest. If LeBron doesn't win, they're going to get younger. He's going to move a couple. Channing Frye's not going to be around. Kevin Love may move. The idea of the last, let me look this up, of the last 12 number 1 picks, 8 of 12 never won a playoff series with their original team. Like, let's get out of this whole thing. In the last 25 years, you've never had your top 2
None of these picks, I don't care who they are, not one of these picks is coming in there and changing the culture of a team the way Larry
None of
Bird
them
did,
are.
the way LeBron did. Like,
I think Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
I don't want to toot the
based
guy's
on
horn.
what? Based on
what he did in
they didn't
college.
even win the Pac-12.
They
and
were
got killed by-
31-5.
Who cares?
They got
though?
to the Elite or Sweet 16.
They didn't win the Pac-12. They lost to
Because
Kentucky.
you had Arizona and Oregon, who were 2 great teams.
Like they say, he makes people better. How much better did he actually make UCLA? Like
They were 15 and 17 the year before
What is he
got
going to
there.
do next year? He's going to be 19. What is he really going to do for the Lakers? They ain't making the playoffs with Lonzo
They're
Ball.
not making
No,
the
they don't have
playoffs,
pieces
but
around it.
He
But
is
listen,
a very
your
he's a
point-
great
He
player.
is.
I don't think you
good
made
player.
Mike,
He plays, he's going to make guys
Mike.
better.
Saying that it's not going to have the impact of Bird and Magic. Well, who is?
But no,
That's
they're
not
saying
much
these-
of a point.
But there's these transcendent players.
No.
That ain't transcendent. That's a good NBA player.
Here's what neither Magic nor Larry were 19 when they entered the league. Magic was 20. Magic had 2 years.
But Magic went to the team with the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Abdul-Jabbar.
And so, but the other point is, I heard all this commotion about, this is the most important draft lottery in history. And I was just like, what? This ain't Hakeem and Michael and Sam Bowie. You're more likely to draft Sam Bowie than you are Hakeem or Michael because it's a crapshoot, because we are talking about 19-year-old kids. And so the slotting is far more important than any player that someone's talking about getting. Most of us saw glimpses of Lonzo Ball. Most of us, Chris, you saw more than a glimpse. And then the rest of these kids is all off spec what we saw. And the one folks didn't even make the NCAA tournament.
Well,
it's like
it's something you talk about a lot, cultural changes. Not only are guys coming in at 19, but because of AAU, they're not coming in with dog. They're friends. Andrew Wiggins, he's got a 4 personality. So the idea that you're going to take a 19-year-old, you start looking around this NBA, you're going to have to match it with LeBron or Draymond. Or part of this league has always been the great players have the alpha in them. The world's changed. They're not only younger, not a lot of these guys grew up starving, hunger, alpha, dog.
That's not Kobe. Was
from different
he's a
generation.
Dog, but he came from means.
His dad was an NBA
They had
player,
a ton
though.
of money.
But
Michael Jordan was middle class.
was
Those are the
different.
2 biggest killers
But it
we
was
know.
different.
Magic, middle class.
Whoa. I think one of the points you're missing, Kobe raised by an NBA dad. Here's what doesn't happen.
So was Steph Curry.
No, I understand that. And that's why that's why they're so great. But what they are missing at 19 when you enter the NBA now is you used to stay 2 or 3 or even 4 years in college, and they taught you how to win, how to prepare to win.
Right.
A lot of these kids, they don't understand. They don't even know what hard work is. And I hate to sound like some old fuddy-duddy.
I'm with you.
And so that's what's missing.
Well, no
Kobe got all of it.
19-year-old is stepping right in and changing your
not
fortunes
happening.
right away.
And every season,
but they could become great players.
You know
Some of
who
these guys
Lonzo
will.
Ball was of the 2015 draft? D'Angelo Russell. He
No.
can pass. Yes,
No.
we were talking about. He makes
He doesn't
people
play
pay.
like Russell. He plays totally different.
No, but I'm saying in terms of what we
He
were
ain't
talking
6'6"
about.
either.